A few days ago, I was walking to class when a guy came up to me and he said, "I'm with the BBC. Can I ask you a question about climate change?" To which I was like, yeah, of course. And I think he really liked my answer. I took a particular liking to what he was doing and I asked him a bunch of questions, and a few emails later, he invited me to give an interview on BBC Radio. I started getting kind of nervous leading up to it. I realized I was not an expert on climate change and I thought that's what the interview was going to be about. But it ended up being really chill. As soon as I got there, they gave me a great tour of the office and it was fantastic. It was just seeing the level at which the people there work is unbelievable. It's so advanced. I felt like I was sitting behind the scenes at NASA or something. The keyboards and all the buttons that they were pressing, they actually had a countdown going on. I'll try and find that in the clips. Yeah, so I was just sitting there trying to film and not be too obnoxious, and just really in awe of the way it all works, this well-oiled machine that is the nightly news. Here's a fun clip of me just losing it backstage as I was about to go on. And you can't hear any of the sound because I forgot to plug in the mic. So I might also add that this was the first time I was trying out the Instagram live feature. I know I'm so late to the party, but it was cool to have some friends come up in my feed and I was able to like wave at them and stuff. And then I had some friends back here at the college who were just like watching me speak on air, and they didn't have the BBC app, but they were able to watch me on Instagram. So that was pretty awesome as well. Anyways, at some point I got to go and I walked into the room with Adam and he was super nice.
Adam, Phil, Adam.
Hey Adam,
how are you?
Nice to meet you. Good.
Nice to meet you.
Just proceeded to ask me all these questions that were basically like, "You've done this cool thing. Why don't you tell us about that?" And so here are some clips from the interview. Sorry I couldn't get Adam in the shot. I just kind of walked in there and propped my camera up on my wallet and the mic stand, so didn't have too much to work with, but I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, so here's the interview. I'm not a true expert on anything also, so
That's all right,
I thought
that's
it was
fine.
funny that I'm being presented as
Everyone's an expert, they're just coming to talk about their job. It's tongue in cheek.
Cool, okay.
The Full Tops and Reach Out, I'll be there on BBC Radio Oxford. It's 25 to 7 now. So time for tonight's Oxpert. Now he's travelled all the way from his home in Canada to study science at Oxford. In his spare time he makes wildlife documentaries, produces some of the most extraordinary wildlife photography as well. Please welcome Phil Roberge.
Hi Adam, thank you so much for having me. Yeah. Very generous introduction.
No, absolutely amazing, some of the stuff you've done. So first of all, let's start off with a YouTube video I stumbled across of yourself.
Sure, absolutely.
In Canada.
Yep.
You hitchhiked. Was it hitchhike?
Yeah.
The whole across Canada with $150.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was that all about?
Yeah, so 2 years ago, Canada as a country, I mean, there's been people living in Canada for thousands of years, but as a country, Canada turned 150. So my friend and I set out on this mission to cross Canada on $150 or less. And so we had to go from the westernmost city, which is Whitehorse in the Yukon, all the way to the easternmost city, which is St. John's in Newfoundland. And yeah, we made it on a lot less than $150, but that number kind of got people going and got people very excited about the project. We interviewed everyone that picked us up and we tried to tell the story of Canadians in Canada.
So really in your intro I should have said a YouTuber as well.
No,
I mean that is a YouTube video of you and vlogging.
Yeah, I think I need to start doing that a bit more. We were doing it for the project, but I think Facebook for that specific project was actually where we were getting most of our engagement.
Right,
yeah.
okay, yeah. Things can go viral that way. Facebook and Twitter. You were actually on, did you say Canada's biggest morning show, TV show?
Yeah, it's the CBC morning show. So
wow.
that was a really, really cool day. And then CTV the next day, not to take it away from them as well. That was also equally as cool.
So, so you're here in Oxford studying science. Let's talk a little bit about your wildlife documentary. So how did you get into doing that?
Sure, absolutely. When I was at the University of British Columbia, I started working for the communications department just as a job when I was a student.
Okay.
And one thing I always wanted to do in that role was kind of feature the incredible research that was taking place in the university. Eventually, a job kind of opened up in the Biodiversity Research Center, where there was a grant from the government of Canada that was being matched by one of the generous researchers there to create these pieces that would feature the biodiversity research that was taking place there. So kind of profiling these researchers in a fun, engaging, visual way. I would go in, I kind of learn what it is they do, and then try and summarize it all as clearly, concisely, and excitingly as possible into these like fun, informative videos.
And whereabouts can we see any of them? Are they on YouTube?
Yeah,
they are.
So they're all on YouTube. They're also all on my website. And they should all be on either my channel, so Philippe Roberge, or on the BD Biodiversity Museum's channel as well. On
So
YouTube.
if you do want to, you want to watch those, it's Philippe Roberge. Do you want to spell it?
Sure. So the channel on YouTube is PhilippeRoberge, or just philroberge.com. That's easy.
Because I think wildlife documentaries are amazing things to watch.
Yeah.
Did you have to recreate much, or was it all completely as it was, wherever you were filming? I mean, a lot of these kind of big TV documentaries have to recreate, if there's a lizard in a certain area, they'll have one in a tank with some lighting just for the close-ups and stuff. Did you do any of that, or did you all do it on the field?
No, so it was all either, exactly as it was in the field, or what they were doing in the lab. It was extremely low-budget stuff. Not to take away from the generosity of the grant, but it wasn't anything like Planet Earth. So we would go out with the researchers and just kind of film them doing it was me. I was filming the researchers doing their thing, just trying to integrate with their team. Sometimes I'd have to like assist, like holding this big like research instrument and things like that. But yeah, and then when it was in the lab, filming them with their microscope and the bacteria that they're looking at, filming through the microscope, things like that. It was all very run and gun style stuff.
And quite creative.
I tried to be, yeah.
What would you say is the most exciting thing that you've captured on camera, whether it be a photograph or video?
Okay. I struggled for a second, but I think so. When we were out filming the piece about killer whales, there was at one point something like 200 Pacific white-sided dolphins that all started following the boat in the this was one of the most incredible natural phenomena that I've witnessed. It was something that everyone would be lucky to experience at least once in their life. So they formed almost like a super pod, and they were all jumping, not in sync. It was all at different times, but at any given moment there was at least 50 to 60 of them in the air. And so I was trying to capture this on slow motion. You have like the mountains and the fog in the background. Unfortunately, they weren't the focus of the research, so it didn't really get put into the video, but I have those clips somewhere, and I should maybe do a little video about that.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the sort of thing that would go completely wild on YouTube.
Yeah. Probably,
I love the sound of that. I mean, it's always interesting to hear about dolphins as well, because they're so intelligent.
Yeah.
And they kind of play with boats. That's why they chase them, isn't it?
Yeah, that's part of it. And some people think they're actually intelligent enough that so oftentimes dolphins will use waves to travel, for more efficient, they don't have to spend as much energy to travel those distances when they can effectively surf on waves. And so they sometimes do that with boats too, although in this case it could entirely have been just playing and for show. Yeah.
That's a similar thing with birds, I think, isn't it? When they fly in certain patterns, it's for aerodynamic
that
reasons,
absolutely is. Yeah. So when you see
energy.
geese, flying in that V formation, that's to save energy. Yeah.
Now, obviously, that was kind of Canada. You're over here in Oxford now, as we mentioned earlier, studying science at Oxford. You are a member of the Oxford University Exploration Club.
Yes, I am. I think one of them
sounds fun.
Yes, it's really fun. Basically, what the club does is we try and help people organize expeditions and try and get them up and off the ground. So help them find funding, help them create, good guidelines and adhere to pre-existing guidelines on, how to follow the ethics and so on if you're going to be dealing with people wherever you're going. So that's what the club's main aim is. But the club also brings in a wide variety of speakers and explorers from around the world to speak about what they do and to encourage people to do it more. So I'm really trying to get Paul Nicklin to come out from Canada. He's one of my favorite. And Thomas Heaton from the UK. That would be great if he could come as well.
You've sent the correspondence then, just no return yet?
Not yet, but we're working on it, yeah.
Fingers crossed. Well, lastly, before I let you go, I'd like to know what you have planned for the future. What's next for you?
Right. Man, that's a big question. So
it is a big question.
Yeah. Right now it's just about completing the degree, and as I'm doing it, I'm going to be, trying to make some videos along the way as well. And then afterwards, I do plan on taking that hitchhiking thing that we touched on global now. And doing interviews every day with different people in different places and sharing that with the world, sharing their stories and seeing if the world can somehow contribute to these people's livelihoods.
Well, amalgamating it all into your YouTube activity that you've just touched on, you could do so much more with that and, monetize it.
Hopefully,
and, hopefully plow that money back into something more important. Well, thank you very much for coming on to be tonight's Oxpert. Really appreciate your time and good luck with everything.
Thank you so much for having me.
No worries at all. From that to this, Prince, what a song. This is Purple Rain on BBC Radio Oxford.
So if there's any of you that have made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching all the way through. I do hope to make some more cool content coming up soon. I don't want to tell you what it is just yet, but yeah, subscribe down below, hit that bell notification button, and I hope to see you guys maybe next week. So yeah, peace out.